Have you ever found yourself rinsing out Ziploc bags to reuse them? Or automatically turning off the lights the second that you leave a room? If you grew up without a lot of money, these habits aren't just little quirks. They're actually survival skills. But to wealthy folks, some of them just don't get it. Today, I'm diving into a viral BuzzFeed article where people who grew up poor are revealing the frugal habits that they picked up and habits that, let's be honest, rich people might side-eye or even chuckle at, okay? But here's the thing. Some of these so-called cheap habits might actually be some of the smartest financial moves of all. So let's go through this article and we'll go over it one by one. And I'll tell you which ones that I still subscribe to, okay? And which ones might be keeping you stuck, and the surprising money lessons from each one. Okay? Because sometimes the way you grow up with money can shape your entire financial future. And sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse. So let's get into it. The article that we're talking about is they legitimately can't comprehend it. People who grew up poor are sharing the frugal habits they learned that rich people simply don't understand. But first, this is Powerful Money Habits. I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie Aldrich, and I like to talk about money and habits that can help improve your life. If you're new to the channel and like the video, please hit that subscribe button. Do it! Become a member. And let's get back to the show, okay? So let's see what they say. The first one is coming up with meals with whatever is left over in the pantry and fridge. Same. I used to make my daughter a square meal using a pack of top ramen, frozen meatballs, and a can of veggie stuff, and she loved it. So, I like leftovers. I am the main cook in our house, and every night I work, so I don't want to be cooking every night. So usually what I do is on the weekend I kind of pre-plan what we want to eat for the week, and I try to pick out 3 meals. So everybody, I have a son and my husband and myself, so we all pick 1 meal, so that's 3 meals. But then if I make a double batch of something, then we have 6 meals, and then one time we'll eat out. So it makes things easy. So I'm only cooking 3 times a week, and then we're microwaving the rest of the time. So, you can take your leftovers and actually make something a little bit different from them. So if you have, what we did, we have chickens. So our chickens are just totally laying a ton of eggs right now. And so a lot of times I'm trying to think, okay, can I make a quiche with like leftover ham, or make a hash or something out of it and throw some eggs on top of it? So I'm trying to think of all the things I can do with these extra eggs that we're getting, so that we're not wasting stuff. But that's where you have to, kind of be a little creative in your meal prep, okay? But coming up with meals with whatever is left over is very important, and it'll save you a ton of money. Instead of saying, oh, I've got nothing, look in your pantry, look in your freezer. Do you have something that's starting to go bad in there, or something that's just been sitting around? It might be soup night. It might be, hey, we got some meatballs, let's throw the meatballs in. I've got some sauce, let's do an Italian night. So look and see what you already have before you go and spend money on pizza or something out, right? How to use and repair everything and run it into the ground. So, there's actually 2 things here. One is a DIY kind of thing where, if you don't know what a wrench is, you shouldn't own a house, okay? It's very expensive to be owning anything, a car, a house, anything. You really do need to know how to maintain that item so that you can keep your costs low. And if you are hiring people to come in all the time, you're going to go broke real quick. So that's number one. So DIY. Repair everything yourself if you can. Hire for the things, electrical, plumbing, that kind of thing, where maybe you're not an expert in and you can actually get hurt or really cause an issue. That's when you bring in the experts. But if you think you can do it, there's tons of stuff on YouTube nowadays. Read and learn about things and how to do it for yourself, and that will keep the money in your pocket instead of giving it to somebody else. The second thing in this quote is also run it into the ground. So many people want to upgrade everything. You don't necessarily need to upgrade things. Like for me, for my phone, I never upgrade until it just doesn't work. I had one that I dropped and just cracked, and then it was going bonkers after that, and I had to upgrade. And then I had another one where the sound wasn't good, and recording videos for YouTube, you need sound quality, and it was all sketchy, and it wasn't working. So okay, you got to upgrade. But some people upgrade every year. Some people, they drive their car, and as soon as their car payments are done, they go and buy a new car. Like, what are you doing? Run your possessions into the ground, okay? Don't buy new shoes until your other shoes, you've either outgrown them, there's a hole in them, or they're just worn out, okay? And that's going to save you so much money. You don't have to replace things as quickly as you think. Let's see. Resilience and problem solving. I can find my way out of any situation. Well, that's true. To save money, it's good to learn about something. Think about investing. And, if you blindly give your money over to a money manager, how much money are they making? Most of those guys are brokers. That means that they are working for a big company and they don't know a lot about finance, right? Be resilient and problem solve your own situation, because in the long run, nobody's going to care about your money more than you do, okay? To me, this is a skill set that can make you a lot of money. If you can think your way out of a problem, how can I solve this issue? How can I, what product or service can this situation solve? If you can kind of be quick on your feet, problem solving, and I know this is a skill set that I have, I make a ton of money because of it, because I can help other people solve their issues because I can come up with a solution for them, and they pay me good money to do that. So I think this is a really good skill set that everybody should work on. Not being picky with food. I can eat the same food forever and never get sick of it. I think this kind of goes back to the leftovers. There are some royalty people out there that, I don't do leftovers. Well, king and queen, unless you have a ton of money or time to be cooking or eating out all the time, sometimes you gotta eat the same foods. You got to look what's in your budget and, go with that. Let's see, when thinking about dinner and I suggest something, we had that for dinner last night, and I'm like, I usually eat lunch at home. I'll come home because I only live a few minutes from my office, and I eat whatever is left over. Whatever I can help put a dent in, that's what I eat. So I don't really care. I love all the food that I make, so it doesn't really matter to me. Let's see. Gratefulness. Learn how to be grateful for everything, because there are people and situations that are worse than you. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't have food on the table. There are people that don't have houses, that don't have iPhones, that don't have safety. They're, in a bad situation. They're unsafe. They're being beaten. Being abused. Be grateful for what you have, but that doesn't mean that you have to settle for what you have either. You can, build skill sets. You can start saving money. You can start investing. You can put yourself in a better situation because you are educated There's so many free resources out there that can help people, help women, help different ethnic groups, that can help train you to live a better life. So I like that. Yep, I became wealthy in my late 20s and 30s after being poor my entire life, pretty much minus a few years with my dad. I still thank the universe when I wake up and sleep. And it's been like 8 years since I realized I was not going to be poor. If you are grateful for what you have, this puts you in the mindset that you are not of lack. When you're of lack, you get the same thing. When you're grateful for what you have, you are loving, you are kind to others, and you are satisfied with, you're kind of in your own skin. This will help to kind of align you with people of the same mindset, and you can always grow together. Okay, so I like that. The next one is, I'm not afraid of poverty. I know how to navigate it. By the same token, because I came from poverty, I've set myself up to not experience it again. So, I like both of these ideas, okay? When you need to be frugal, you be frugal, right? I came from a probably lower middle class family. My mom always had money for us, for school activities, for clothes, for trips. We always went on a little vacation every year. But we weren't going to Europe. We weren't going, to Hawaii, that kind of thing. But we still did what was within our means, right? She always saved money. She would stash cash in envelopes. I actually do the same thing, that I know that I want this vacation, how much it's going to be. Okay, I divide it by, how many months it's going to take me to get there. And then I start every month putting that amount of money into those envelopes. And then by the end, I always have the money that I need. And I do this for all kinds of stuff. Birthdays, Christmas. We know Christmas is every year, right? So why not start saving it every month for next year? Because that way, if you see something that you think somebody will like, it's on sale, and you're like, oh yeah, that would be awesome, then you could go ahead and buy it, and you already have the money for it. So you could just cross it off your list. So I think you have to be in the mindset that, okay, I know how to live within my means. Now, that doesn't mean I can't expand my means, though, okay? I don't necessarily ever want to be in the lower middle class again. I'm just not. I know how to make money with the skill sets that I have, and I also know how to invest my money to make more money. With those skills, I'll never go back, okay? Whether I get sick, whether the economy tanks, which, economies go up and down. I know that I can maneuver any which way because I have done it and I have the experience to do it. So you got to think about how far you've come and whether you want to go back to the beginning or not, which most people don't, and build from there. Okay, you could do it. Let's see here. Number 7, how to be happy without the need of a lot of material possessions. I'm not even reading the rest of this, okay? I think as Americans, we are so caught up with the marketing messages that are out there. They're very manipulative. Instagram is nothing but a big commercial for crap that you don't need, all right? And I have gotten myself into this kind of thing too because I'm a doctor, I deserve this, or, getting the fancy Mercedes and buying a huge house, that kind of thing. I don't necessarily need any of that. I don't need to prove my worthiness to anybody but myself, okay? I don't need fancy anything. I would rather have money in the bank than look like I have money, okay? And most people nowadays, they have to have all the fancy stuff, the designer brands, that kind of thing, and all that does is you're giving your money to somebody else instead of keeping it for yourself and your family and growing it. And it was a big lesson for me, but now that that all this information is out there and you can kind of see what other people are doing with themselves, I don't want to be in debt anymore. I want to have my money working for me so I don't have to work so hard. And if you have that mentality, then you have to do things a little different. And that means you're not buying a lot of crap that you don't need or want. You spend the money how you want on things that you love, but the rest of it, don't worry about it. Invest it and let it grow for you so it will take care of you when you need it. Let's see here. I have a good bullshit filter for the most part. Okay. I think that you need to know who is trying to get your money. I always ask myself, like, what is their angle on this? Are they really trying to help me build this skill set, or are they just taking my money? And most of the time I've given them my money because I think, oh, I want to learn this particular skill set. But in the end, I've realized that I love to learn new things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I got to learn it from them or give them my money. So, think about that and spend your money how you want, but yet also be saving and investing for yourself. So make your money work for you and not make somebody else rich. Number 9, buying used. I like this. I have bought new cars before. I think I'm not going to be doing that from here on out. I think, a lot of things you can buy used. Baby clothes, any kind of baby stuff, because they grow so fast, and most of the time, by the time the season comes, like, they're already outgrown, that kind of thing. So definitely want to buy used clothes. You should buy new shoes, new mattresses, but appliances, maybe. I like buying new for that because I try to use it until it doesn't work anymore. Cars, I'm going to be in the future buying used. Right now I bought a new Subaru in 2016. It still has low mileage because I don't drive very much, and it's still awesome. So I'm driving that thing into the ground. Other things to buy used, you should know what's going to need repaired and what doesn't. Obviously, houses, for example, most people are buying used houses. Make sure that the house is not too old and doesn't have a lot of stuff wrong with it, unless you're into construction and you know how to fix stuff. But buying brand new, there are so many costs for buying brand new. I have bought both, and you have to put in landscaping in a yard. Then you have to buy the, new equipment for all that stuff. Then you got to finish your basement, and there's so much to do that needs to be done like right away for landscaping and all that for new house builds. So just be careful. Buy used when you can. Being nice to people regardless of their position in life. There's so many people that are just going crazy, and especially politically wise nowadays, and just be nice to everybody. They may not look the same as you, they may not believe the same things as you, but I have found, especially being a professional and being in business, as long as you got money, you're good by me, right? I treat you however I want to be treated. I treat you like you are a friend, and I try to help you. That's what my job is in my practice, and I try to be nice to everybody. But if you're not nice to me, you're not nice to my employees, you can go screw yourself, because I will stand up for other people, because in that instance, your money is not welcome, and there's no cost to, making somebody feel bad, or, you're just an ass. So, but, overall, just be nice. All right, number 11, I automatically add groceries up in my head as I shop, so I'm not embarrassed by having to put things back. I think this is pretty important. You should be buying your groceries or anything else on your budget. I know I have a budget. Now, my husband does the grocery shopping, but he knows that he only wants to spend X amount of dollars at the grocery store. So what he does, especially at Sam's Club, like you can scan stuff, like he can do an automatic toll of what's going on so that he knows at the end that he's under his budget. You got to keep track, but you got to keep track on everything. How much are you spending on all kinds of stuff? Eating out, food, anything, okay? Clothes, utilities, car payment, that kind of thing, okay? Don't be embarrassed. Don't overspend. You got to keep track of your money. But that goes for everything, not just food. And try to pay cash when you can, or use your debit card. Number 12, I treat my stuff with care and it stays in good shape long after I purchase it. I also perform maintenance. I take the extra few seconds to prevent damage rather than dealing with the aftermath. That's right. So you drop your phone, you crack the glass on it, right? You use it until, it's where, this is a little sharp, or the glass is really starting to crack. Now it's time to take it in. There's so many kiosks at the mall that you can take, and they'll, go shop or go have a meal or something, or come back in an hour, and they'll have a brand new piece of glass, and it costs, $100 instead of $1,000. So it's 10% of the cost. I've done this twice with 2 phones that I've cracked, and for $100, it definitely saved me from, having to go out and spend 10 times the amount. But this goes for anything. Try to fix it. There's so much on YouTube now. There's so many videos, so much information out there that if you think you can repair it, do it. If you can't, then you're going to have to find other resources. But start saving for it so that you're not out. If it's something that you can't save, you have to replace right now because it's broken, washing machine, that kind of thing. That's what your emergency fund is for. So make sure that you have an emergency fund in place so that you can replace things when you need it. Let's see here. Not having an emotional connection to pretty much anything, because I know it could go any day. I could lose it all, everything, and just start again. Well, we love our stuff. We love the life that we've built. We love the people in our lives. Now, that can totally change. There could be an accident. There could be cancer. There could be, you lose your job. Yes, you need to make sure that you're good with yourself. You're good with your life. And you're good with your resilience, which kind of went back to one of the ones before. But, you should have pride in your life and what you're doing, what you've built, but you should also take comfort that if it does go away, if something does change, that you're going to be all right. That your identity is not based on things that you have, your status, your position, whatever. That you're a good person. You have people that love you, that you love them. You have friends, and hopefully you have your health, because that's really one of your most important things, and that you can rebuild if you need to, or you can start over. So definitely want to have pride, and you should have comfort that you can start over if you need to. And I think this might be the last one. I can grow food from seed to harvest. Take that, you rich bastards. So, if you do have a little bit of land, or you have a patio, you can grow a little bit of veg and fruit. You could grow herbs from your garden. It's not that hard. I tend to not, I hate growing from seed because it does get a little tricky if you don't have the space. And if you plant too soon, sometimes when you transfer the plants over, because I've done this before, and then the plants don't like the new soil and they end up dying. I usually buy small plants from a nursery and use it, to grow stuff. So, but I think it's important. We need to be more resourceful with not depending on the grocery store for our food. So we have chickens that lay eggs. If we need them for meat, we have them. And I also do a garden every year. My husband also hunts, so we have meat no matter what. So he hunts, I do gardening, we have vegetables, herbs. We do a lot of, I usually freeze my stuff. I make sauce, I make salsa. Then we have, just the veggies as they're ready in the fall. So, you do need to be a little more resourceful, and especially with grocery prices going up so much, get some chickens in the backyard. They're easy, they're kind of smelly and stinky and dirty, but you get some awesome eggs from it. So, we got another one. How to actually smooth talk without relying on good connections. Being comfortable in an ugly space. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to end it there. Getting kind of long. So, that's it for the show today. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments which one of these do you do? Or which one of these do you need to change so that, you can start saving more money and investing for your financial freedom. Don't forget that you can grab a free copy of my book, Powerful Money Habits, Unleash Financial Freedom. You can grab a copy down in the description below, and make sure you watch that masterclass that's on that page where I help a couple of students with their money goals using my 3-step process. And until next time, this is Powerful Money Habits.